The church doors burst open with a force that echoed through the silent nave, and there stood Soline's father, his face twisted in rage, phone clutched like a weapon. "What the hell is this?" he bellowed, thrusting the screen forward to reveal a grainy photo of Soline and Jordan locked in a passionate kiss under the city lights. Soline froze at the altar, her white dress suddenly feeling like a noose, as the small gathering of friends gasped, the secret ceremony crumbling before it could even begin. Her heart pounded like a war drum in her chest. How had he found out? The wedding was meant to be their sanctuary, a hidden promise in the heart of Chicago, away from prying eyes. But now, with her father's accusing stare boring into her, Soline felt the weight of every lie she told crashing down. "I can't lose them," she thought, panic rising like bile. "Not my family. Not after everything." Jordan reached for her hand, but Soline pulled away instinctively, the gesture slicing through her like a blade. "Dad, please," she whispered, her voice cracking. "Let me explain." He didn't wait. "Explain? You've been lying to us for years. Sneaking around with her." The word "her" dripped with disdain, and Soline's mother, standing behind him, clutched her pearls, tears streaming down her face. The ultimatum came swift and merciless. "Choose, Soliniandra. Your family or this abomination." The room spun. Jordan's eyes, wide with hurt, met hers, pleading silently. But the fear was too deep, rooted in childhood sermons and holiday dinners where conformity was the unspoken rule. "What have I done?" Soline wondered, her mind racing through memories of Sunday school warnings about sin, her parents' proud smiles at her straight-A report cards, the facade she'd built to keep their love intact. Jordan stepped forward, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. "Mr. Thompson, this isn't about you. Soline and I love each other. We've built a life together." But Soline's father laughed bitterly. "Love? This is a phase, a mistake. Soline, if you go through with this, you're dead to us." The words hung heavy, echoing in Soline's soul. Dead to us. She thought of her younger sister idolizing her, her grandparents' frail hugs, the family business waiting for her inheritance. Could she walk away from it all? The internal storm raged. Loyalty to blood versus the pull of her heart. Jordan's touch on her arm felt like fire now, a reminder of the freedom she'd tasted in stolen moments. But freedom came at a cost, and Soline wasn't sure she could pay it. As the guests shifted uncomfortably, Soline's mind flashed to their first meeting. It was at a gallery opening in Wrigleyville, where Jordan's paintings, vibrant abstracts of hidden desires, had drawn her in. They'd talked for hours, laughs turning to whispers, until Soline realized this wasn't just admiration. It was recognition of a part of herself she'd buried deep. But back then the risk seemed distant. Now they were here, raw and unrelenting. I need time," Soline stammered, hating the weakness in her voice. Jordan's face fell, betrayal flickering in her eyes. "Time? Soline, this is our wedding." The pressure built, a vice around her chest. What if I choose wrong? What if I lose everything? Her father's foot tapped impatiently, his presence a looming shadow over her dreams. The ceremony halted, the officiant awkwardly packing up. Jordan pulled Soline aside, into a side room where stained glass filtered colorful light, but it did nothing to warm the chill in the air. "You promised me," Jordan whispered fiercely. "You said we were in this together no matter what." Soline's throat tightened. "I did promise. But promises break under pressure, don't they?" She thought of her mother's disappointed sighs over the years, the subtle hints to find a nice boy, the way her father boasted about her to his conservative friends. "They're my family, Jordan. I can't just throw that away." Jordan's eyes filled with tears. "And what am I? Disposable?" The question stabbed deep, forcing Soline to confront the cowardice she'd hidden behind excuses. Outside, the confrontation escalated. Soline's sister Mia arrived breathless, having been tipped off. "Soline, is it true? You're gay." The word felt foreign on Mia's lips, laced with confusion and fear. Soline nodded, the admission both liberating and terrifying. But Mia's hug was tentative, her voice small. "Dad says if you don't stop this, he'll cut you off. From everything." The financial threat loomed large. Soline's job at the family firm, her apartment paid for by trust funds. Independence? She'd never truly tasted it. Jordan watched from afar, her posture rigid, as if bracing for the inevitable blow. Why can't I fight for us? Soline agonized inwardly. Is love worth the ruin? As the day unraveled, Soline drove Jordan home in silence, the ring on her finger feeling like a shackle. We can try again, Jordan said softly, hope clinging desperately. But Soline's mind was a whirlwind of doubt. What if this is a sign? What if I'm not ready to face the world? Society's whispers echoed in her ears, judgmental glances at pride parades, news stories of disowned children. She dropped Jordan off, promising to call, but deep down she knew the fracture had begun. Alone in her car, tears blurred the city lights. I've hurt her already. How much more damage will I cause? The night stretched on, filled with restless thoughts, as Soline weighed her heart against her heritage. The next morning dawned with a heaviness that pressed on Soline's chest like an unseen hand. She stared at the ceiling of her childhood bedroom, back in the family home after fleeing the chaos. Her phone buzzed incessantly, Jordan's texts a mix of pleas and anger. We need to talk. Don't shut me out. But shutting out was what Soline did best. A survival mechanism honed from years of hiding. If I respond, I'll crumble, she thought, the guilt twisting like a knife. Instead, she deleted the messages, each swipe a small betrayal to her own soul. Downstairs, the kitchen table became a war room. Her father paced, coffee mug in hand, while her mother sat silently, eyes red from crying. We raised you better than this, he started, his voice a low growl. Do you know what this will do to our reputation? The church, the community, they'll shun us. Soline sat there, numb, absorbing the blows. Reputation. Always about them. But inside, a voice rebelled. What about my happiness? She thought of Jordan's laugh, the way it lit up dark days, the quiet nights where vulnerability felt safe. Yet here, in this house of expectations, that safety seemed illusory. Mia hovered in the doorway, her teenage curiosity clashing with familial loyalty. Soline, why didn't you tell us? She asked, voice trembling. Soline met her eyes, seeing a mirror of her own past confusion. Because I knew this would happen, she replied bitterly. The judgment, the ultimatums. Her father slammed his mug down. It's not judgment, it's concern. This lifestyle. It's not natural. Think about your future, your children. Children. The word stung. Soline had never voiced her dreams of a family with Jordan. Adoption papers already researched in secret. But now, voicing it would be ammunition. I want that future, she admitted inwardly. But not at the cost of losing you all. The conflict tore at her. A battle between authenticity and acceptance. Jordan, meanwhile, paced her loft apartment, canvases scattered like fragments of their shattered plans. She replayed the scene in her mind, the pull away, the hesitation. Does she even love me enough? The doubt festered, mixing with memories of her own coming out, the freedom it brought despite the scars. She'd lost friends but gained herself. Soline needs to do the same, Jordan thought, but the waiting was agony. She picked up the phone, dialing Soline's number again, only to hear voicemail. Please, Soline. Fight for us. Hanging up, she felt the isolation creep in. A familiar foe from her closeted youth. By afternoon, Soline's father arranged a family intervention. A pastor from their evangelical church, a man with kind eyes but rigid words. Homosexuality is a choice, Soliniandra, he intoned, Bible in hand. With prayer and therapy, you can overcome it. Overcome? The idea repulsed her. It's who I am, her inner voice screamed, but outwardly she nodded, the performance exhausting. Her mother squeezed her hand. We just want what's best for you, honey. Best for me or for you? Soline wondered, the resentment bubbling. She thought of Jordan's art, how it captured the essence of struggle, and longed for that honesty. But here, honesty was a luxury she couldn't afford. As evening fell, Soline slipped out, driving aimlessly through Chicago's streets. The skyline mocked her indecision, towering and unyielding. She stopped at a park bench, the same one where she'd first confessed her feelings to Jordan. I think I'm falling for you, she'd said, heart racing. Now that memory fueled her turmoil. What if I go back to her? But the fear of disownment loomed larger. Financial ruin, emotional exile. Society's chains felt tighter. Workplace whispers, potential job loss in her conservative field. Am I strong enough? The question haunted her, tears falling unchecked. Jordan, unable to wait, showed up at the Thompson home unannounced. I need to see Soline, she demanded at the door. Her father blocked the way. You're not welcome here. But Soline heard the commotion rushing down. Their eyes met, a spark amidst the storm. Jordan, you shouldn't have come, Soline whispered, but her heart leaped. Jordan's voice cracked. I had to. Are you really going to let them win? The confrontation escalated, words flying like daggers. Soline's mother intervened. This is confusing her. Confusing? Soline thought, anger flaring. No, you've confused me for years with your expectations. In the heat, Soline made a choice, or rather a non-choice. Jordan, please go. I need space. The words escaped before she could stop them, regret immediate. Jordan's face crumpled. Space? From us. She turned away, the door slamming like a finality. Alone again, Soline collapsed, sobs racking her body. I've pushed her away. What kind of person does that make me? The night deepened her despair, questions piling. Is family blood or choice? The emotional weight pressed harder, foreshadowing deeper wounds. Days blurred into a haze of avoidance and ache for Soline. She returned to work at the family real estate firm, burying herself in listings and client calls, but every quiet moment brought Jordan's image crashing back. Why did I send her away? The self-reproach was relentless, a constant whisper eroding her resolve. Her colleagues noticed the change, the forced smiles, the distant stares, but no one asked. In this world of buttoned-up professionalism, personal turmoil stayed hidden. Yet inside, Soline debated endlessly, loyalty to parents who raised me, or to the woman who sees me truly. The moral quandary gnawed, each side pulling with equal force. Jordan threw herself into her art, brushes slashing across canvas in furious strokes. The pieces emerged darker, abstracts of heartbreak, swirls of red for passion betrayed, blacks for the void left behind. Friends rallied around her, offering wine and words. She's not worth it if she can't stand up. But Jordan defended Soline instinctively. It's not that simple. Her family's everything to her. Still, the doubt crept. Am I fighting a losing battle? Memories of their shared dreams, travel, a home, maybe kids, now felt like taunts. She texted Soline once more. I miss you. Please. No reply. The silence screamed louder than any argument. At home, the pressure intensified. Soline's father monitored her phone. For her own good, he said. We can't have temptations derailing you. Temptations? Jordan's not a temptation, she's my heart. But Soline complied, the submission tasting like ash. Her mother arranged therapy sessions with the conversion specialist, sessions filled with prayers and exercises to redirect desires. Each one chipped at Soline's spirit. This isn't redirection. It's erasure, she thought during one particularly grueling hour, fighting back tears. The ethical dilemma loomed. Am I betraying myself by staying, or Jordan by leaving? Society's norms echoed in the therapist's words, traditional families, biblical roles, reinforcing the cage. Mia became an unexpected ally, sneaking into Soline's room late at night. I looked it up online, she whispered. Being gay isn't a choice. Dad's wrong. Soline hugged her tight, a flicker of hope amid the darkness. But what do I do? They control everything. Money, my job. Mia's eyes shone with youthful fire. Fight. Like in those stories you used to read me. Fight. The word resonated, stirring something dormant. Yet fear countered. What if fighting destroys us all? The internal war raged hotter, emotions boiling over in solitary moments. Jordan faced her own crossroads. A gallery offered her a show in New York, a chance to escape the pain. Take it, her best friend urged. Start fresh. But leaving meant abandoning hope for reconciliation. Do I deserve better? Jordan pondered, staring at a photo of them laughing on the lakefront. The betrayal stung anew, Soline's hesitation at the altar, the cold dismissal at the door. Yet love persisted, stubborn and aching. She drafted an email. If you don't choose us, I have to choose me. Sending it felt like severing a limb. The email hit Soline like a thunderbolt during a family dinner. She excused herself, reading it in the bathroom, heart-shattering. Choose me. The words mirrored her own pleas to the universe. That night, she confronted her parents. I love her. This therapy, it's torture. Her father exploded. Torture? We're saving your soul. Her mother wept. Think of the scandal. Our friends, the church. The argument spiraled, voices rising, accusations flying. Soline stormed out, driving to Jordan's, but stopped halfway. What if she's done with me? The hesitation cost her. By morning, Jordan had packed for New York. News of Jordan's departure reached Soline via a mutual friend. Panic surged. I've lost her. The realization hit with visceral force, tears streaming as she sped to the airport. There, in the terminal, she spotted Jordan, bags in hand. Don't go, Soline begged, voice raw. Jordan turned, eyes guarded. Why? So you can waver again. The confrontation was electric, words laced with hurt. I was scared, Soline admitted. But I'm here now. Jordan shook her head. Here now isn't enough. You need to be all in. As the boarding call echoed, Jordan walked away, leaving Soline broken on the cold floor. Why couldn't I commit sooner? The regret deepened, emotions swirling into a vortex of self-loathing and loss. Weeks turned to months, and the void left by Jordan consumed Soline like a slow poison. She quit the family firm, taking a low-paying job at a non-profit, scraping by in a tiny apartment. Independence tasted bitter, laced with loneliness. Every night, she replayed their last words, the airport scene etched in her mind. I let fear win. The self-flagellation was constant, a ritual of what-ifs. What if I'd stood firm at the wedding? What if I'd defied my parents sooner? Society's judgment followed her. Subtle side-eyes from old acquaintances, news articles on anti-LGBT bills fueling her paranoia. Was it all worth it? The moral tightrope stretched thinner, balancing self-preservation against self-destruction. Jordan thrived in New York, her show a success, but acclaim rang hollow. New admirers flirted, but none touched the depth Soline had. She dated sporadically, each encounter a reminder of what was missing. Is this freedom or just distraction? The internal monologue grew darker, questioning her own resilience. Letters from Soline arrived. Apologies, please, but Jordan burned them unread. Forgiveness felt like weakness. Yet in quiet moments, love resurfaced, a persistent ache. What if I go back? But pride held firm. She betrayed me once, trust is shattered. Back in Chicago, Soline's family dynamic fractured further. Her father stonewalled her, but her mother reached out secretly. Coffee meetings filled with tentative questions. Is this really you? She'd ask, voice soft. Soline nodded, sharing stories of Jordan's kindness, their shared dreams. It was real, Mom. Tears flowed, bridges mending slowly. But Mia's support was unwavering. She came out as bi, inspired by Soline's struggle. You showed me it's okay to be me. The revelation hit Soline hard. My pain paved her path. The ethical weight shifted. Had her suffering sparked change? Yet the cost haunted. Lost love for familial evolution? A chance encounter reignited the flame. At a pride event Soline attended hesitantly, she spotted Jordan across the crowd, in town for a visit. Their eyes locked, time suspending. Soline, Jordan breathed, surprise mingling with wariness. They talked for hours, words tumbling, regrets, growth, the pain endured. I came out fully, Soline said. Lost the job, the money, but gained myself. Jordan's walls cracked. I built a life without you, but it's empty. The admission hung, charged with possibility. But old wounds festered. Can I trust her again? Jordan wondered. Soline echoed. Will she forgive my cowardice? The reunion turned tense when Soline's father appeared, tipped off by Mia. What are you doing here? He demanded, face flushed. Soline stood tall. Living my truth. The standoff was brutal, shouts, pleas, Mia defending her sister. Jordan watched, heart pounding. This is her test. Soline didn't back down. If you can't accept me, that's on you. Her father left in fury, but Soline felt liberated. Turning to Jordan, I'm all in now. But Jordan hesitated. It's too late. I've moved on. The rejection crushed Soline anew, deeper than before. Why fight if it ends like this? Emotions peaked, a torrent of despair and defiance. Alone that night, Soline journaled furiously, pouring out the turmoil. Society demands conformity, but at what price? Her mind raced through the betrayals, her own, her family's, the world's. Jordan in her hotel did the same, tears staining the page. Love shouldn't hurt this much. The parallel agonies amplified, building to a crescendo of unresolved pain. The fallout from the pride confrontation rippled outward, shattering what remained of Soline's fragile world. Her father disowned her publicly, a family statement emailed to relatives. Solineandra has chosen a path incompatible with our values. The words seared, a final severance. Friends distanced themselves, whispers of troublemaker following her. But the deepest cut was Jordan's departure back to New York. A goodbye kiss on the cheek that felt like farewell. I thought we'd rebuild, Soline lamented inwardly, the hope extinguished. Now isolation enveloped her, a suffocating blanket. Was authenticity worth this exile? The question tormented, ethics clashing. Self-truth versus relational ruin. Jordan boarded the plane with a heavy heart. New York's skyline no longer a beacon but a reminder of escape's emptiness. Success mocked her, sold-out shows, interviews praising her resilient spirit. Resilient? I'm broken. Memories assaulted. Soline's eyes at the airport, the wedding's collapse, the recent standoff. I pushed her away this time. The reversal haunted, guilt compounding grief. Society's scars ran deep, her own past rejections fueling caution. Can love survive repeated betrayals? The internal debate raged, emotions surging like a storm. Mia became Soline's lifeline, moving in temporarily. You're my hero, she said, but Soline felt fraudulent. Hero? I've destroyed everything. They navigated coming outs together, attending support groups where stories of disownment echoed their own. One night, Soline broke down. I chose wrong at every turn. Mia held her. No, you chose survival then truth. The words offered solace but doubt persisted. What price for awakening others? Soline pondered the moral maze, her pain as catalyst for Mia's freedom, yet at the expense of her own joy. Jordan faced a mirror crisis. A new relationship beckoned, stable and open, but it paled against Soline's intensity. She confided in a therapist. I can't let go. Sessions unearthed layers, abandonment fears from her youth, amplified by Soline's waverings. Forgiveness or finality? The choice loomed, heavier with each passing day. A letter to Soline drafted and redrafted. I still love you but trust is gone. Sending it felt like closure, yet reopened wounds. Why does love demand such sacrifice? Months later, fate intervened. A mutual friend's wedding brought them together again. Tension thick in the air. Soline approached, voice trembling. I understand if you hate me. Jordan's eyes softened. I don't hate you. I miss us. Confessions poured, growth, regrets, the shared trauma of societal pressures. Family tore us apart, Soline said. But we let them. Jordan nodded, tears falling. And now? Can we rebuild? The question hung, electric with possibility. They danced slowly, a tentative step toward healing, but shadows lingered. Betrayals scarred deep. Mending required more than words. As the night ended, Soline walked Jordan to her car. I paid the price, lost my family, my security. For you, for me. Jordan squeezed her hand. And I paid by losing faith. Their kiss was cautious, a spark amid ashes. But doubts whispered. Is this redemption or repetition? Back home, Soline stared at the ceiling, emotions at fever pitch, hope clashing with fear, love with loss. The journey's toll weighed heavy. Damaged bonds, awakened selves, ethical quandaries unresolved.